Good Wednesday evening to everyone. It's a blast seeing you guys hopping on and chatting as you wait on me to change batteries on my microphone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is John Demuth. On the other side of the mic is my beautiful bride, Katie.
Hi.
And she is really looking forward to seeing everyone um, and share a little surprise we've got. So
Yeah.
tonight we're going to be tying Landon Mayer's mini leech. This is Mayer's mini leech jig. We're going to talk about the OG, and we're also going to talk about the what's it called? The jig Radiant. So two very similar flies, but we're going to jump right in it. What's up, Patrick and Ken and Josh and Steve and Michael? I really like seeing your all's comments, so thank you so much. And thank you, everyone in green. Your membership means a lot. Thank you very much. If you have not joined our membership and you would like information, just chime in. And right now, Ken, Josh, or Steve, or Al can be able to help you. Does anyone can everyone hear me except for Al? And I want to while we're figuring out if you guys can hear me, I'm going to turn it over to Katie and let her go ahead and chat with you and show you some pictures. So, Katie, take it away. It looks like Freddie can hear me. Yep, everyone can hear me except for Al. Huh. Take it away, Katie.
Okay, so we had a lot of really good pictures this week of Wally wings that I want to share with you all. So let's get to it. We have Bull X72's Wally wings, and we had 3 from Bull X72, 3 pictures that I wanted to show you guys. So that one might have been a reel, actually, that one. So sometimes I have to take a screenshot if it's a reel. We also had 3 really great pictures from Two Drive Fly of the Wally wing, and I like this kind of like golden sort of theme here. So thanks, Two Drive Fly, for sending in yours.
Michael.
Check out the bottom of it. It looks really cool. And then Truman. Hey, Truman, if you're out there. I don't know if he's on here. Truman, awesome pic from at Truman_fly fishing. If you haven't checked him out on Instagram.
That's sitting on a piece of wood off of his sawmill. He's found a scrap piece of wood and thought,
yes,
look pretty
Truman is quite the craftsman.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the craftsman. Ken Brooks, Wally Wings Bonanza. Ken went crazy. Ken was like, this is the most awesome thing I've ever tied. He was like, actually, this isn't hard. I really like this.
No, they're not that hard, and they're very durable, and they can do them in Australia too. So that's awesome.
Yes, I mean, actually, I think that he has a natural affinity for being able to tie Wally rings because looks like he just started going. He couldn't stop. And not only that, I told him I loved the green. That looks super cool. So Ken, thank you for the awesome pictures. And I hope you have so much fun with those Wally wings. Chris, I grabbed a screenshot off your reel. Thank you, Chris. And we have 2 beautiful pictures from Freddie. His photographs are getting better and better every single time I see him. It makes me feel like I need to go have my camera serviced and cleaned out or something because his pictures are so flawless. Here's the other side of Freddie's beautiful Wally wing. And then Bill, Gray Ghost, sent in several pics. So I'm going to share just a few of those. Bill, we got all the pics that you sent us. Thank you for sharing all of those with us.
Gray Ghost. Bill.
I'm sorry, Ed. Sorry, Ed. Yeah, thank you.
I'm telling you what, we're doing a pretty good job keeping up with nicknames and screen names and everything. You're doing a fabulous job.
I know it's there's a lot over here. So this is fly tying 1216, and I got a couple from fly tying 1216. So I want to be sure I put them both up there because the first one is a little blurry.
That's Joe.
The second one looks a lot better. Dave Hall. And what is that background? It kind of looks like a blanket almost. Josh Riston's Wally wing, and a late entry by Steve Yates. Again, with that beautiful blue background, you can't go wrong.
Steve Yates had a very nice write up on this coffin fly about the Deddies. So thanks to Steve for the little bit of a throwback on this one and pulling out the coffin fly.
Mhm.
Great job.
Yeah, so stick around. We're gonna have about 9:45 a little giveaway.
Yeah.
Fun. So
Katie's got a new toy to show
oh
off.
right, yeah, we have a new fun thing. See, look.
Everyone's got their fancy ways of picking. Now Katie has her.
I need to get better at I need to Truman to come over here and work on the gears and stuff for me a little bit. Like get it, you know, calibrated.
That's right. We got it calibrated.
But that'll be fun.
So that'll be a fun little thing for us to use. Need some W. It needs something.
It needs something, Chris. Yeah.
But that'll be fun for us to do our giveaways on. This will be a quick little one. What we're going to do, I think this came from Al. He suggested that we give away the flies that we tie. So I've got right here the 2 flies that we posted today, and we'll throw the whatever flies we get finished tying tonight. We'll throw those in the cup, and that'll be just kind of a no one's gonna fight over those if we mess up the spin of the wheel or something. So that'll be what we'll give away tonight. So it's bear watching tonight. Last minute packing for Texas. Or Katie, bears are watching you.
Oh, hey, Bear.
So
Too bad Bear's not here. She could spin the wheel for me.
Yes, if Bear was here, she'd be wearing that wheel out.
Yeah.
So like I said, we're going to tie Landon Mayer's mini leech, and that can be found. I think Landon has at least 3 videos on YouTube watching him tie it. He's also has this this great book. So, wow, and that is very distracting. He's got this great book here as well that has both the mini leech. Oh my gosh, I opened up straight to it. The mini leech jig and the mini leech jig radiant. So we're going to tie both of those tonight. He does a great job with step-by-step instructions, but also how to fish it, and that's always helpful. One of my favorite books is the Fishing and Tying, or Tying and Fishing Tailwater Flies by Pat Dorsey, and I love how he talks about how to fish it. That's no different than with Landon. So he talks about the fly quite a bit. So cool book to have on your bookshelf. So let's get started. See, Ken, thanks for hopping on from Australia.
Bye, Ken. Thanks for your awesome pictures. This is so cool.
And Kevin, thank you so much for jumping in and kind of moderating a little bit. I need to turn Instagram on.
Let's turn Kevin into a moderator.
Yes, you were good. I don't even know if we can do that.
You can do that. I don't know what that does, but you can do it for sure.
Thanks for hopping on, Ken. We'll talk to you later to the visit JC's Fish where he schooled you. Actually, I wasn't fishing, which is A-okay.
Oh, if we make Kevin a moderator, he can manage blocked words, and he can also review chat messages and hide or put users in timeout.
Oh, users in timeout. Well, some of us.
I didn't even know that was a thing, that you could put somebody in timeout.
Yeah. I'm dull. Maybe it means I'm done. Okay, so the way we're going to tie this fly tonight, Landon usually uses the Umpqua XT 500 BL, or no, not BL, XT 500. We're going to be using the Umpqua XC 400 BL. He'll also use the Tiemco 403 JBL 403 something. I can't remember the less of it, but the Tiemco 403. So Mark says my old mic's not working.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
Do you see something?
I don't see. There's nothing really like standing out that's obvious. That.
Can you all hear me? That's the problem I'm having. It isn't. So Chris is saying it isn't either. Let's see. Let's see here. If I flip this to there, I'll give that a second and see if that's like super loud. Tell me if that changes anything, that switch. I'm gonna wait on Chris Harris to reply to me and say yep or no, that didn't change anything. That helped. So James Ross says that helped. Thank you, James. Better sounds okay. Fine. Much better. Much better. Okay. Maybe I just had a switch issue. The trick is supposed to pixelate.
I mean, it looks like your mic is coming through loud right now.
Yeah, it looks like mine's like blaring. So maybe there's something. Oh, you know what? No, it's not gonna be this. I'll try it anyway. Yeah. Okay. Well, you didn't come to hear me talk. You came to hopefully watch me tie. So thank you, Langley. Thanks for sending me that picture. Langley sent me a picture of a paddle that he found at Scout Camp this weekend, I guess, from 1994 that has my signature on it, honey.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty cool.
I can't believe that you went to Scout Camp in 94.
I was on staff, girl. Staff.
How old were you? Like 12?
15. That sound is normally does. Well, we'll see if we can work it out.
It looks like you're really loud right now.
And we're not. It might look like it, but we're not. So we'll go ahead and get time. So we got the Umpqua XC 400BL. Landon likes the Umpqua XT 500. Also the TMCO 403. Both jig hooks. It's back out. Well, I can't do this if I keep fading in and out. Let me try something else. And I can't see. We'll try it that way. See if that's any better. Maybe Katie's mic is hot and John's is too low. So, and now mine actually looks, John is on Katie's mic. Okay. Yeah, I like talking far away. That's kind of what I was worried about with mine.
Did you mute the thing?
Is that any better? Did I mute one? Yeah, that one's good.
Okay.
That helped. Everyone's like, that helped, but it's not. Okay, so it sounded normal before. I'm gonna leave this on just a second and see. Volume 50. I hear you fine. Sounds fine. Well, John sounds like he's it. I'm gonna try to turn it back to that. Okay. So when you turn left or right, it drops low. So can you hear me right now? Like good or no? Good or no? Good or no? James and Chasing Feathers. Is that any better? Someone said when I made that one switch, it was better. Yep, James. It's good now. Is it fixed or is it just doable? Hopefully it's good.
It should be good now. I've worked with it.
Better. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this going. So we got the XC400BL. Okay, good jig hook, 60-degree jig hook. Landon is always harping on the 60-degree jig. The pine tree. Yeah, no kidding, David. I'm like, good grief. This is a lot more difficult than Instagram, unfortunately. And speaking of Instagram, if you're watching on Instagram, come over and check us out on YouTube. You'll be able to see better. And normally I would say you'll be able to hear better, but we're having some hearing issues. And you can't just tell you want to turn your hearing aids up. And now I'm kind of got I've lost my swang. All right. So we're putting a 3mm tungsten slotted bead on this size 14 Timco or Umpqua XC 400BL. The nice thing about this is probably on the lighter side, but even though someone else will get this fly, I'm tying this to drop off of the back of a dry fly. So I don't want this one super, super heavy. So 3mm, this is a black nickel slotted tungsten bead on a size 14 hook. We've got 18-aught classic wax thread. So this is thin stuff that they've been normal stuff to use. I don't think you're in timeout now. So we're going to do this really simple. We're going to do this one as, I won't say as basic as you can. But now Landon usually runs the fly all the way back to the side, runs the thread all the way to the hook bend here. I'm going to make one little change. I'm going to get this is black pearl crystal flash. This one, this is just going to kind of be our real, somewhat subtle, but our black version of this. I'll switch back up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just lining up the ends here and starting like so. So let's switch back over. Good job, Katie. Now with touching wraps, we're going to bring our thread all the way back to the hook end. And it doesn't have to be absolutely touching, but somewhat, because we're going to cover everything up here. If you don't get absolutely everything, is fine. So, how are we looking? And you don't need to go all the way back to the bead. Good so far? Again, time. Yeah, Katie doesn't want to do that. I don't know how to do that timeout, so I'm trying to figure that out though. Okay, so now I'm going to take my my bobbin cradle and just hang my bobbin there. So now I can do all the spinning I want to. There's no half hitch or anything in there. Take my crystal flash and I'm going to wrap it up. If it starts coming apart like that, what I like to do is put my fingers a little bit closer. That'll a lot of times help, and if it doesn't, like it's not right here, what it'll do is it'll just kind of overlap, and it'll end up being okay anyway. But, so we're just twisting it up, trying to get somewhat 1 or 2 layers. And you see where we went to. So like I said, we're not going all the way to that bead. We got 1, 2, 3. And I've got, sorry about that. Is there a time you would want to extend that you could, you absolutely could. You don't have to have it be flat. I'm trying to do my best going the way Landon does it. Now I do want to make sure that my bead is going the correct way, because those 2 little butt ends I just trimmed off are going to go in that bead and kind of help prop it up that way. So we're good now. So let's pretend like we're going to tie a dozen of these, okay? And let's pretend like we're not going to be resin people for the time being. I'll put a 2 or 3 turn whip finish and cut my thread like this. And then we get my Sally Hansen's, and let's zoom in here for Instagram. My Sally Hansen's, and just get a real thin coat. Now, Landon uses super glue, and unfortunately, I am just not a big super glue fan. And it's not because I don't like it. It works great. It's just I don't like keeping it. I have a hard time keeping it from drying out. So I end up getting a bottle, using it a lot for like a week, and then I set it down for like 4 months, and I go to get it again, and it's totally dried up, and then I've got to get another one. So so that is just Sally Hansen's. Now I'm going to take it. I've got my, if you notice, I've got my Yeti right here, YETY. I'm just going to stick it in that cup. And I'm going to do a dozen of them. And then I'll put the tails on and the ostrich. But we're not going to wait on that. We're going to come back to that one in a minute. We're going to do this one. We're going to start on that one. So this is going to be his Landon's mini jig radiant, mini Leech jig.
Wait. So did you just like that first one was just like?
I'm gonna come back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was confused.
I'm trying to do better at like not just tying one fly and being done with it.
Well, I know it was just confusing though, because it was almost done and then you like put it aside.
Yeah. So Sally's does dry out quick. If you will use, this is the tip of the knife. Who is this? Michael Terry. Okay. So the tip of the knife is going to be one that I learned from Tim Flagler, and I've said this before, but if you will get some 100% or 99% alcohol, like at the pharmacy, just regular like rubbing alcohol, and put a drop or two in this, and that'll make it thin again. And you can do that a handful of times before it does start getting kind of milky, but you can do it quite a bit. And if I can find it,
Just start with a tiny, tiny, tiny bit first.
I use like a hand sanitizer squirt bottle. But this guy here, let's switch over to the side here so I can show you this. There we go. So this bottle right here, this Sally Hansen's has been in here for 2 years, and it's still really thin. I mean, this is a brand new thing. This bottle costs about $3, and then you got your Sally Hansen's. I just dumped it in there, and this has been totally fine because it's got this little pin. It's been totally fine for 3 years. Which now it's coming out 2 years. So yeah, it does dry out, but it's not like super glue. So use just plain rubbing alcohol, but try to get the high percentage and put a couple drips in there, and that will help thin it out. Wapsi Flex Seal bottle. So isn't that what this is, a Wapsi bottle? But anyway, that works really good. Okay, so we got our. The only thing we've done different so far is I'm gonna sit and mess around with the bead for a minute. Is the color of the bead. So this is a 3 millimeter, more like a radiant pink. So the Radiant series has the Umpqua Radiant slotted tungsten beads, and the Radiant means they're super bright, and they are super bright. And that is unfortunately the one thing that I do not have the correct side. What's up, Jeff? It's okay that you're late. Everyone's saying hi to you anyway. So we've got the pink, metallic pink bead, and we're doing the 18-aught. This is, come on, 18-aught white plastic wax thread. Making sense so far? All right, so we're going to get this out. Oh man, it's a feather. And one thing I've learned with just using the regular crystal flash is if I take one whole piece here and I cut it in half, then I don't have to use a whole piece for one fly. I can use half a piece and it works fine. Plenty. So bring this back. And we're going to, all the way to the bend, and then somewhat touching wraps all the way back up. You just want to make sure it's smooth. So about like that. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hook it on the bottom cradle, grab our flash, wrap it around, just like this. I wish I could read comments as I was wrapping, but not quite that good. So undo a couple of wraps to there. And you probably can't see. There we go. 2, 3. All right. So now we'll do the same thing. Find our whip finisher. And the last one we'll do, if we have time for a third one, we'll use resin on it because you can always use resin. Unless you are too sure. Yeah, usually these two, I've actually got something I want to try. Maybe we'll try that one on the last one, but these two are pretty close to Landon's pattern. But yes, if you don't have this exact color of crystal flash, you don't have this exact, you can look in his book and he will have a bunch of other ideas. You can do whatever you would like, whatever you think's going to work. Knock it out. So we got the black one we just did, and we'll switch it over to there. And so it stays. That's the only thing when you use the same Yeti cup for a while, the holes start getting kind of worn. Okay. So that's what we've got. That's what we're working with now. So then, yep, that's absolutely Chris. So now I've got some micro pine squirrel in black. So this version is going to be a little hard to see. Let's switch over to the side here. one of the nice things is having this ruler here on my vise. So I'm just gonna cut off 1 inch. 1 inch. On the size 14, I think 1 inch and an inch is good. Kind of like, I think. There we go. So that's an inch long. It's going to be, yeah. So that's long enough so if I want to, I can trim it on the water. But it's not too awful long. I think Landon says he goes an inch to an inch and a half, and the main reason he does an inch and a half is for still water applications. I'm not fishing still water hardly at all. Hard to drink out. Yeah, it is a little hard, especially when it's loaded up with hooks. I do have a purple one that we can definitely do. But anyway, yeah. So if you want to, you can trim this shorter. Long story short, I do like hitting the back to taper it a little bit. I feel like it adds a touch. So we're going to clean up the this tip. You really don't have to use a bodkin, but kind of put a part in there and just pull that off. So we got a nice place right here. You see that? That doesn't have fur on there. We're going to tie on. Okay, so let's start a thread back. And we want a nice smooth ramp here. So we are going to wrap ostrich. Now the ostrich is just like any other feather. The smoother the ramp is, the better it will wrap. So we don't want this part where my bodkin is to be bumpy or rigid or anything. We want this to be as smooth as possible. Because all that we have to do is tie in pine squirrel or mink, depending on what color it is, and ostrich, and that's it. So we've got our pine squirrel here. So I'll hold my hand up on this one so it might be easier to see. So we want to tie it upside down. So as it rides, the tips of the hair are facing up because we're tying it upside down, but the fly itself is sitting in the vise upside down right now. Regular, what's up with it not working? You'll have to ask Chris Harris, James, ask Chris Harris on here or Truman. None of them like purple. They always give me a hard time when I'm tying purple. And it is actually them being sarcastic. They love purple. So we want to make sure that this is right on the top of the hook shank. And we want to give our ostrich enough space to really have a nice bushy collar. So you see when it rides like this, the hair is going up, and that's the way it's going to kind of sink. Okay. They are being salty, absolutely. Sodium is a killer. I don't know what you mean, Kevin, about sodium being a killer. So it is nice to have. We'll switch back over to the side. Because of the show last week, I do have from that same clearance bin black ostrich here. And I try to use it, but the fibers, it just proved what I'm getting ready to say, the fibers are a little bit short. So I've got some Nature Spirit. This is actually jumbo ostrich pearl plume, but having the longer plumes makes it easier to work with for sure. And when I was tying these last night, I got 2 flies out of one plume, which was cool. So you can see where, let's see if the best way to show you. Okay, so you can see how that kind of comes down to a little bit of point. We'll cut just a little bit of that off and then strip just a few of these fibers off both sides. So I've got a good tie-in point. So let's look at the fly itself, the hook. And they will not give up any spot in the photo either. Color Joe's liver, stop living. Purple. Yeah. Okay. So here is the find a piece of paper that will work. Okay, so here is our ostrich turtle. See it there? There we go. See how it's flat? So when I'm holding it this way, it's super thin. Hold it that way, it's really thick. Okay, see if I can get it to a better spot right there. It's thick, it's thin. Okay, thin, thick. I'm talking about like the very tip of it where I broke it off and stripped. So you can see how the rachis, the stem, I don't know if this is technically the rachis, the stem here is on this side of the little flumes here. And then it's not on this. So I want that stem to be facing the hook, or excuse me, the bead itself. Should I forgot? Flashing it nice and tight, keeping that part smooth. Hold it the same way you're doing it. So can you see? No, you can't. We'll see better on the white one that we'll do in a minute. I'm going to do, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if we squeeze one more in there. 8. Okay, so this is where, so you see how it looks right now. So this is where I like having the really thin thread. This is the only reason that I've got the super 18-aught thread. So I'm gonna do 1 wrap, 2, 3. Push back. Just start pushing those fibers back. Cut that off. I'm gonna pull these fibers back some more to make sure we're nice and clean. And now we're gonna have a tie off that is not super. It's not going to create a big thick collar in between the bead and the ostrich. So we're going to put a little bit of head cement here, and then we'll go to this white one real quick because that will be much easier to see. You'll see this whole process much easier. There we go. And there is our very nice.
You got a couple comments there.
What you got on this one? That one's just kind of a plain Jane there. I hope you can see it okay.
And interesting, the strip is tied on the top of the shank.
Yep, because this is a way. Here, let's switch over to the side here, so you can see. So it's tied on the top because, or on the bottom, because that's the way it's going to ride, like this right here. Where are you? Come on, focus on me. There we go. Maybe.
No.
There we go. So that's the way it's going to ride, is like this in the water. So with the fibers going up like that, facing the sky, it's going to help it sink correctly as opposed to being tied like this with the leather going up. That makes sense. So we'll put this one here, and this one will go in the box. We'll giveaway. We'll go and pull this next one out so you can see mucho better, I hope. And if you're watching on Instagram, come over and check us out on YouTube so you can see. And jump in on the giveaway that Katie's going to do here at 9:45. Okay, so I don't have the mini or the micro zonker in the mink. What I do have, I can find the package, is the Moonlit. Moonlit sells the 1/16 of an inch mink strips. So this is mink at 1/16 of an inch. I get this, and I'm just going to pull it and stretch it, makes it nice and thin, that, and we're good to go. So this is technically, if you're doing it, this is a micro. This is what this is what Landon calls for, is micro. So we've got our same 1 inch piece. I'm going to take it like this, And we'll strip off some of it. Let's see, maybe a little more. So we can have a nice clean tie-in. So I'm just ripping that off. And if you get some stragglers like that, you can cut them. That's fine. That's what works for smaller strip. Yep. The only problem is you can't get white, like bright white like this in pine squirrel. So the mink is definitely preferable. So I'm gonna put this right here. Bring this right back to the front because I like starting it with it. The leather right behind that bead. One wrap. Just slowly working my thread back. Doing the exact same thing we just did. The only difference is you all can see it better because it's white. We're tying it upside down, but it's not really upside down if it's the way you're supposed to be tying it in. Okay? So we got that just like that. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to get white ostrich. I wish I saw the other piece. I'd probably get a fourth fly out of it. So we'll cut it off. I'm trying to do a better job of showing you the stem. I was hoping that the camera would be close enough and focused enough so you can see it. Okay. We'll switch it back over. So you can see right here. See, okay, this side looks like that. Let's see how this side looks. Because of the side of the stem on it. You can kind of see the stem. But when you tie it in, you want the flues to be going back and the stem to be going forward. Get that off there. Okay. So, do you find ostrich more durable of the pearls? Like what? So you can see how that's going to show pretty well. So you can see right here, the stem itself. See that? Right there. So see how you got the stem going forward and the flumes coming to the back. So kind of either want to wrap on top or right in front of the previous wrap. That's one wrap, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, got one more there. We'll cut this off. So these are pretty easy. And now we'll just do a little whip finish and this will be done. And the last one we'll do is going to be a little bit different, but we'll use resin on that one if you don't want to use glue or anything else. Good question so far. There we go. So you can see a rod like so. We got a little bit of flash there, and that'll be ready to rock and roll for someone. Down here with our black one. Nice multi-suit. Absolutely. The thing should go just right. I have a feeling Katie's going to interrupt me in just a second, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's throw a purple one. We'll make this one a little bit crazy. A lot crazy. I won't go too wild, but we'll stick with the white because you can see it pretty well. So unfortunately, I don't have the metallic purple, but I do have this cool matte purple. There. And we'll stick with the white thread. And we'll do a new product that you all probably haven't seen, but it's like, holy cow. And I had it laid out. Now if I can find it, it's a different story. Yes, I can. So we've been using Crystal Flash here, and Crystal Flash works really nice. Nothing to. What's up, Douglas Trout Flies? Hello, New Zealand. Hop over and join us on YouTube, and you'll be able to see and hear better. Great, I like that, Steve. So Landon calls for Crystal Flash here. Then just add a little bit of flash, a little bit bling, and go as crazy as you want. So we're going to go super crazy. We're going to use this glow in the dark pink. And this stuff is like some gun bright. I'll show you here in a second what it is. So this is the material here. It's very similar to Crystal Flash as far as the diameter and everything. So I'm going to tie it in the exact same way. Double up.
When do you want to do the giveaway?
How close are we?
It's 9:45.
Okay, well, let me wrap this, and then we'll do the giveaway, okay?
Sure.
And this is going to be for this fly. And if you're going to win this fly, you got to tell me what colors you want. And the other two we just tied, and the two that so 5 flies. They will make it a cool baker's dozen, but 5 flies sent to you. But this is kind of, you're going to switch it over to me real quick. So Katie's going to do the spinner thing. And this is the first time we've done this. We're going to pick a number between 1 and 200, actually 0 and 199. Katie's going to go over all the rules. This is for a handful of flies, and the flies are tying right here. So it turns over to Katie, if you're not ready.
Well, I mean, I'm just typing it in. It's pick a number between 0 and 199 starting now.
Yes. So starting now.
There you go.
And we'll give, 3 minutes?
Yeah, we'll give 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, so we'll switch back over to the hook, and I'll wrap this. And David Smith's locked in at 33, and Kevin at 123. You guys are doing grand. All right, so we got a pink flash here. We're gonna wrap it just like we did the Crystal Flash. And this is me just probably getting a little bit too creative or too crazy with it. But when you see what it does here in a second, you're like, holy crud, it's bright. So we got that. And this is just, I want to tie some sulfur emergers with this orange or even yellow, because look at this. It's like, can you see the glow? Like it's making that purple glow. It's like super bright. It's blowing. Yeah, Josh wins again. That's what we're doing it. We've got something fancy here, Steve. So that is like super bright. So now let's throw some resin on it. Let's see, we'll go, just go with some flow. Put a few little drops here on top, let it soak in. I'm going to use my bodkin to move around, and this is just the loom flow. Just keep it rolling so it doesn't drip off. That twerk be good. How are we doing on time, my love?
You got 1 minute.
Strip the excess off. Good. Kind of hit it as that, and they'll hit it full on. So if you haven't picked a number between 0 and 199, do it now because you got less than a minute. There we go. And thanks again to everyone who has joined our membership. It's like $3 a month, and we really appreciate the support very much. Thank you, Josh. Speaking of which, and Steve, you guys are chatting away. So before I go to the next step, so that just that's, I won't say it eliminates, but that's in place of super glue or the resin, and you can see how much it glows, and that's the glow in the dark stuff. So, Katie,
Mm-hmm.
are you ready, my dear?
Sure.
And you explain what you're going to do.
Okay, so everybody knows their number.
You want to switch it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Just be quiet. Just there you go. So you picked your number. So now we're going to spin this. And first, we're going to spin for the first digit. So it's either, since it can be up to a 3-digit number, the first digit is either going to be a 0 or a 1. So, okay. So the first digit is a 1. So that means that if you have, that's correct, right?
If you're 100 and something, then
Yeah, or if you're zero
no,
ones.
First digit's a 1.
It's
So
1? Okay.
100 and something.
So if you're 100 and something, then you might win. Okay.
Yep.
Now we're spinning for the second number. It's a 1 again.
Let's try. Okay. So
See, I'm telling you, I've tried to spin it and it just spins like the same every time. Like I can't make. Yeah.
Okay, so 101.
So we're 1-1. Yes, we're 1-1 so far. And you can't put any more numbers. Stop putting numbers.
Appalachian Fly Guy was the last one. He's at 1.
Okay, so 3. Do we have 113? Anybody?
So you can look and see who got closest to 113. And
Chris was 114. Tirado. I think it's Chris.
Did he want get closer than 114?
No, I think Chris
Do you want to turn my mic on?
is. No, not yet. I can do this myself.
Oh, okay.
Al. I don't think so. I think Chris got it. Chris is 114. If I look weird, I'm staring at the computer right now trying to look at the numbers. I mean, there's like a 118 from John Boy. So yeah. Chris.
Which Chris?
Travato.
Okay.
Okay, now you can have your mic back on. Yay!
So that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I need to work on the wheel a little bit.
You gotta figure out how to make it go.
Yeah.
We're the only ones in this house. Hello, dog. How are you doing?
So tell Chris what he needs to do.
So Chris, send us your address. Email us your address, or I think we message each other now. So email us, just send us your address, and we'll send you some flies. And that's we wanted to try to do this time just to kind of play with it and see how it worked. And I think that worked out great. I wish the thing would spin a little bit more than it does. Misha, do you want to come say hello to everyone? Come here. Misha, other side, over here. She's going to knock over a camera or something. Say, come here. You know you don't get up here. Get up here. Oh, come here. Here's Misha, everyone. She's a little baby dog, and she likes saying hello, don't you? She likes eating capes every now and then. Just every now and then, though, right? She's a good dog. She protects Katie from all the mailmen and UPS drivers that come around. You see you right there? So, we're going to wrap it up now, right? Okay, we'll let you out in just a second. Hop down. Good girl. Okay, so you got a 1 inch of micro mink right here. And like I said, this isn't the official micro mink. This is the 1/16 that's stretched. And look at the hook vise here. You can see that, okay, we switched over to the hook. Please, ma'am. Perfect. You can see it's pretty darn thin. I've got the part right there that's a little bit, that we've ripped the hair off of it. Thank you, Randy. She has gotten big, man. I guess some of y'all probably remember when we got her. She was comparatively little. Shove that up right up against the bead. We don't want there to be a big cliff right here. Hold it up, bring our thread back until we're as far back as we need to be. Thank you, Misha, for coming in here and scratching and de-shedding and everything. All right. So we got everything done. See that's nice there. And once again, that see how that, well, you can't really see it very well, but that pink is banging. Now I'm gonna grab that same ostrich plume stick thing. Sponsored by Sally's. Which Sally's? Oh, Sally's not Head Smith. It's a. I always thought it was the same thing because that's what I've always used. I've never used like a official Head Cement, I don't think. Use it, whatever head cement that you like. All right, so we're gonna tie this in the same way we did before. Yeah, I'm on the Sally Hansen's protein. All the Sally's girls come over and hook Katie up. Right, Katie?
Yes, that's right.
All right. There she is, kind of a joke sticker at the shows that gets put on our desks every now and then. It says Sally Hansen protein. Tim Flagler cracks up with it. That should be good. That you can see this is the same one that I tied that first one with, as far as the feather, the second one, whatever the other white one. And I could get one more fly out of it. So the jumbo plumes are more expensive, but they're you get a lot more out of them. Okay. And see how my thread is just kind of burying down. It's not taking up something making a big thread call or anything. It's looking good. Here, James. Miss James, say something. See, James. What would be a good pattern to use? Coyote fur. Well, it's too bad Gary's not here. He's driving to Texas to see Jeff at the moment. Because he could probably tell us what would be a coyote fur. It probably depends on what part of it is. What is the mass of tail? Everything he puts on his toenails. Yeah. Okay, so here we got our purple with our little bit brighter pink body, and we'll switch it out to the main or to the side or main camera angle so we can show this one off. And Chris, congratulations, you get this fancy colored in here. That'd be nice. Anyway, well, cool. The entire pelt head. The tail could be used for saltwater flies like a Guan style fly. Use the tail, kind of like an Arctic fox tail. All right, let's switch over to me and then we'll call her a night, Katie.
We go.
Awesome. Well, guys, the Myers Mini Leech is in the books. This is what we want to do for a long time, but I've never had the correct size and the official radiant bead. And finally, I was like, I'm just going to go and do it because I was talking with Truman today, or maybe it was Jeff I was talking with. I can't remember, but I said, this show, it's always hard to come up with something to tie, but it's a lot easier to come up with something to tie when I'm fishing a bunch because I just tie what I need in my box. And this would have been a great one for John Christopher to have this weekend. And last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, when I was doing that dry dropper, I would like to have these in lightweight, like I tied them, to throw underneath a dry fly. So I just have to, you all might get tired of it, but I just tie what I'm putting in my box. So, guys, if you don't mind, give Landon Mayer, tag him when you post this stuff so you can see your flies being posted. We look forward and tag us in the picture like you're doing so we can pull them up and share them with you next Wednesday night live. As always, email your pictures to demouthflyfishing@gmail.com. And until next week, we look forward to seeing everyone. Turn it over to Katie.
Bye. Thanks for playing Spin and Win.
Spin and win.
It's so much fun. I'm so happy that you played it with me. Thanks for watching. Also, bye.